I love looking up at the night sky and knowing that those little tiny pinpricks of light are hundreds, thousands, millions of light years away. We're kind of time travelers.
People have been talking more about how bright the night sky looks and asking questions about whether that's because pollution has lessened due to the pandemic and people staying at home more. And I think that question in and of itself really rings true to people taking more stock of their surroundings.
The fact that we're looking at a galaxy that's 50 million light years away, it has star formation, there could be planets like Earth. I think it just creates this awe and wonder in people.
So this object is about 35 travels.
Okay, it says we're live. Welcome to nationwide live stream Star Party. We're so excited to have you.
A star party is where we bring people together to learn about space, to learn about science, to learn about constellations, and then to look through telescopes to see awesome things in the night sky. So that could be planets, stars, double stars, nebulae, you name it.
And here we have these beautiful galaxies. And so when Frank's...
I think initially when the pandemic started, there was a little bit of despair amongst observatories and amongst astronomy clubs, because how do we help people see the night sky even when they can't come and look through one of our telescopes?
Now, this is not your normal Star Party.
My name is Amy Oliver. I'm the Visitor and Science Center Manager at the Fred Lawrence Whipple Observatory in Amado, Arizona, and the Public Affairs Officer for the Center for Astrophysics. And the Public Affairs Officer for the Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian. I very distinctly remember being a teenager and told that I wasn't smart enough to be a scientist. And that was not for me, and I needed to pick something else. Well, here I am. Proof positive that science is for everybody, and that space is for everybody, the stars are for everybody.
I know when I was young, I got a chance to look through a telescope when I was a little kid, around 7 years old, at the Orlando Science Center, and that fueled a lifelong desire to become an astronomer. My name is Derek Demeter. I am the planetarium director at the Emil Buehler Planetarium at Seminole State College of Florida. I do astrophotography. This is one of my photographs of the Orion complex area. You can actually, let me see here. You can see right here we have the 3 stars of Orion's belt, and then we have the Orion Nebula over here, and then the Horsehead Nebula right over there. The one thing I miss the most about doing real physical star parties is the reaction that people get when they look through the telescope. There's just nothing that will substitute the idea of putting your eye to an eyepiece and seeing the light from that object traveling from, thousands of years, millions of years, whatever the case may be.
And before I forget, I'm told that Nora from Washington State is watching tonight. It's her 7th birthday today. Happy birthday, Nora.
The positives of being in a virtual sense is reach. We were reaching people all across the planet. And we got people from Austria, Azores, Japan, Korea.
Nick Koch here in Patagonia, Arizona. I'm going to embarrass him just a little bit for a second. He has a 4.3 GPA and was valedictorian and wants to be a theoretical physicist.
I actually heard about the Star Party through my father. He's always trying to get me into new things. And I've always been interested in astronomy with all the coronavirus stuff. And now it's kind of been leaving me with not that much to do. My name's Nicholas Koch. I live in Patagonia, Arizona. I'm 15 years old, and I go to the Patagonia High School.
We're waiting for that. What? Whoa, a UFO just went by.
What is going on there? Who's riding the bike that late at night with all these weird, crazy lights?
We can connect our telescopes via cameras to our computers. That sounds a lot more technical than it is. And then see the objects that the telescope sees.
From the exact same place that I'm here now in my house, I am operating the telescope remotely on top of Mount Lemmon. We actually do that on a regular basis. We're regularly using the telescope completely remotely. And in fact, 2 nights ago, we actually had a guy from China who was operating the telescope from Beijing.
Much more appealing to the eye, certainly, and hopefully a lot closer to what this would actually look like if you had the ability to see it.
We got to go to astronomers all over explaining about the sky. They show us some of their photography from some of the constellations, galaxies, nebulae, all over. It was just amazing.
What draws me to space is just the infinite number of unknowns that make us so small. Every time we turn around, we discover more and more galaxies that are out there, and there could be an Earth. And it's those unanswered questions that really drive me, because I'm full of questions.
We're here on a little Earth, like a speck of dust in the universe. And when you look at the stars and galaxies and the nebulas, it opens your eye to how small we are and how much there is to discover.
Justin said this massive galaxy, it's a spiral galaxy.
We can try to ask terrestrial questions on, where we come from, but that's only where we come from on Earth. Where do we come from in the grander scheme of things is one of those exciting fundamental questions that you can answer with astronomy.
What I really hope that people will take away from nationwide live stream star party or any virtual star party that they go to is first a sense of community and knowing that we're all together in this even when we're apart. But I also hope that people will take away a connection to the night sky and a love for what's out there.